a homeschool planner like this for my kids when I had brain surgery, and I needed to plan a whole term ahead of time, but I needed it to be completely flexible and very detailed. So this is what I came up with. If you are familiar with the Sidetrack Home Executive planning system, this will be pretty familiar to you. So what you're going to do is you're going to take a template and come up with all of your plans. You can take your Ambleside or your standard plan, and you're just going to make your cards. So you're going to put your subject at the top, how long each lesson takes you, your instructions, and then how often you want to do each lesson. And then you're just going to file all of those lessons in order in your box. You can have a separate box where mom keeps all of the plans if you want. You can have each kid to have their own box where you keep all the plans. You can keep a term's plan in your kid's box. You can keep the whole year's plan, whatever you want to do. So then at the beginning of each week, you're just going to go through and put whatever lessons you want for that week into each tab. So for example, maybe you want to pull a lesson for catechism and a lesson or two for math. Maybe you want to have them do a math drill, and then also come back here and do a math lesson. And then maybe on Mondays you also do a science lesson, and maybe that's a day that you also are going to do a free reading. Okay, and you just go through and do that for each day of the week. So then your kids can, at the beginning of the day, just go through and grab their cards, and you can have them clip those cards so that they don't lose them. And it's kind of hard to do with one hand, but you can have them clip those cards and take them with them wherever they're going. They can stick them in their folder, they can stick them in their backpack, they can take them to their room. You can have them stick these cards into their book that they're working on. Whatever you want to do, whatever works for your family. You can then, at the end of the lesson, you can write any notes you want to, like, the day's date and how many pages they read, and maybe a little narration on this. And then you can just file this at the back of your box so that then your mom can go through and review those. You can archive those. You have those for your notes. If it's a repeating lesson, like say maybe you have a science lesson that you repeat, you can just write that down on here, what days you did it, so that you know what days you did it, any notes about that, and then you can just file that back to do it again. Or have a little rotating lesson place to put those lessons that are rotating. You can put QR codes on there so that you can open up like a Google Classroom file for any of those. You can put very detailed lessons in case you have somebody who's helping you. You can have lessons that are going to take a couple of days worth, like maybe you have a review you're going to go through. Whatever is going to work. Like, well, maybe let's say you have a catechism lesson that you're doing, you can have it the QR code on there. Maybe you want to put little symbols on there. So for example, if you have a kiddo who is working on reading in a reader, and you want to put a little symbol that says we're working on this together. Or you want to put a little symbol like, hey, work on this on your Duolingo on your tablet. Maybe you want to put reminders to work on your timeline. Let's see. Maybe you want to work on poetry every day, and so you put some different links to some different poetry that they can read. Just scan that QR code and it reads for them, so that you have things super independent when you're going through a stressful time and you're in that survival mode. You have everything right there. A sub can just come in and work on that, and you've got things super detailed. You just make those notes on the back if you want to, and you just file them. If something goes crazy and you need to reschedule things, that's okay. You can just move those cards around. You can reschedule an entire week if you need to. You can reschedule a day. You can reschedule a single lesson. If a kiddo gets behind in math, it's not a big deal because all those math lessons are just filed right here in order. It's a good idea to write your lesson numbers in the corner. That way if your box gets tumped, you can put those back in order super quickly. You can change things if you are using Ambleside for your English language arts, and then in Singapore for your math, or a public domain math program, or whatever you're using, maybe Khan Academy. You can mix and match. So it makes it super easy to change things around. It's analog, so you're not getting distracted by notifications on your phone. It can go with you. It can change with your kiddos' needs. So it's just index cards. It costs maybe $3 to make the whole system. You just need to print things out on regular old cheap index cards. You can color code things, you can decorate things, you can make things as fancy as you want or as simple as you want. You can even handwrite all this out if you wanted to. You can use these simple handwritten tabs if you want, or you can make super fancy tabs. It's whatever you want. You can let your kiddos decorate their boxes. You could just use super cheap boxes, wooden boxes. You can make a rule that these boxes stay on mom's desk. You could let them take the boxes to their room. Things can change as your kiddos change and get older. So it is completely flexible. So this is just something I came up with. Again, it's kind of inspired by that Sidetrack Home executive way of doing things. It's just really flexible. Also kind of took inspiration from the way some people were using Trello, which is a digital program to kind of schedule things, and kind of made an analog version of that. So if you have any questions, or there's anything I can do to help you or answer any questions about that, let me know. I will also link where you can download my Canva template so that you can make these cards yourself super simply, and just print this all and make it suit your own. Thank you.